Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be discussing about rules of exponent. And the first rule is the product rule, where it states that to multiply two exponential expressions with the same base, we keep the base and add the exponent. So these are two exponential expressions, and as you can see here, the bases are the same. Okay, so if the bases are the same and we are multiplying, all we need to do is add the exponent and we just keep the bases the same. Okay, so we add the exponent. The exponent here is a raised to the m power and a raised to the n power. So how are you going to do that? We just have to keep the base the same, and then after we add m and n. So m plus n. Okay, so that's the rule. So in other words, if you are multiplying exponential expressions with the same bases, all you need to do is add the exponent and copy the base. Okay? So, yun yun. Yeah, add mo yung exponent mo, tapos kokopyahin mo lang kung ano yung base mo. So, since ang bases dito are a, so at is yung a natin dito, tapos i-add lang yung exponent m plus n. Okay? So, to further understand that, let's do some of the examples. So, dito, it's m raised to the third power times m raised to the fifth power. So, what are we going to do? We just have to copy the base m. And then, after, we are going to add 3 plus 5, which is equal to m raised to the 8th power. Okay, so that is the answer. Okay, next, what if we have this? So, 9x squared times 3x raised to the 6th power. So, the thing is, ang unang-una mong gagawin, you need to multiply 9 times 3. So, we're going to write it here, 9 times 3. And then after, we just have to copy, kokopyahin lang natin yung bases na pareho, and that is x. And then after, i-add natin yung exponent 2 and 6. So, 2 plus 6. Okay? Simplifying it further, anong mangyayari? So, this will be 9 times 3 is 27. X 2 plus 6 is 8. So, the answer here is 27x raised to the 8th power. Okay? So, next is, what if we have 1/4 b squared 16 times 16 b raised to the 8th power? So, the first thing that you need to do here is you multiply 1/4 and 16. Okay, so we have to write it here, 1/4 times 16. Okay, and then after, write b, because this is common, b and b, so copy mo yung b, and then after, add 2 plus 8, which is equal to 1/4 times 16. Let's do cancellation. So, by 4, so this becomes 4 here, so 4, and then b raised to 2 plus 8 is 10. So, the answer is b raised to 10th power. So, 4 times b raised to the 10th power. Okay? So, next. Next, what if we have this kind of equation? 2a raised to the 4th power, b raised to the 6th power, times 10a raised to negative 2 and b raised to negative 5 power. So, what are we going to do? Still the same. Ang gagawin lang natin, we just have to multiply first yung mga numbers, 2 times 10. And then, pagkatapos nyan, kokopyahin lang kung ano yung bases na pareho. So, meron tayong dalawang bases dito. That is A, and B, and B. So, A first, A, and then copy the exponents. 4, sabi you have to add. So, plus What is the exponent of the other one? It's negative 2. Okay, and then for B, copy B, and then 6 plus, this is negative 5. So, negative 5. And then, pagkatapos ang gagawin mo naman ay isi-simplify. So, 2 times 10, that will be 20. A, 4 plus negative 2. So, since the signs are not the same, babalikan natin yung knowledge mo sa knowledge natin about integers. So, unlike signs sila, so what we do, we have to subtract them even if the operation is addition. So, this will become a raised to the second power. Okay? Next is B, 6 plus negative 5. So, again, unlike signs sila, that's why we have to subtract. Okay? So, 6 minus 5, that will be B raised to the first power. But then, if the exponent is 1, we don't need to write them. So, rewriting this further, magkakaroon tayo ng sagot na 20 A raised to the second power B. So, this will be the final answer. So, this is how we do product rule. Okay, next rule is the first power rule, or sometimes, or I call it usually the double exponent. Okay, so what do we do with the first power rule or double exponent? So if you have an exponential expression with another power or exponent, all you need to do is you multiply the exponents. Copy the base and multiply the exponent. So for this one, x raised to the m power raised to another n, that will be x mn. So mn here means you are multiplying it. Okay? So that's how we do the first power rules or the double exponent. We just have to multiply the exponent and copy the base. Okay? So to further understand this, let's do this example. So 3 raised to the second power square is 3, and then we just have to multiply 2 times 2, this is 4. So the final answer is 3 raised to the fourth power. Okay, next, if a raised to the 7th power times 8, or 8th power, that will be a 7 times 8. 7 times 8, so that will be a raised to the 56th power. So that will be the answer. Okay, another is, what if we have this kind? M raised to the second power times M raised to the third power, close and open parenthesis, raised to the third power. So what are you going to do first? First, you need to simplify the ones inside. Okay, so isusimplify mo muna yung nasa loob. So, ang mangyayari, since same exponent sila, what do? I-add mo lang yung, it's not same exponent, it's same base. So, what do? I-add mo lang yung exponent nila. So, this will become m, copy, and then 2 plus 3, and then after, sulat mo pa rin yung outside exponent. Because we need to simplify the ones inside first. And then after that, simplifying, so that will be m raised to the 5th power and then raised to the 3rd power. Okay, now that iisa na lang yung m na nakikita natin dito, after we simplify it, that's the time you multiply the exponent. Okay, the double exponent here. So the final answer here will be m raised to the 15th power, because 5 times 3 is 15. So this is the final answer. Okay, next, what if we have this again? So as you can see here, double exponent, because we have the exponent inside and outside. But this time, look, we also have the same bases. So again, ang kailangan lang natin gawin, kailangan mo munang isimplify to using the first rule, which is the product rule. So ang gagawin mo una, we have to copy this b and then add 5 plus negative 2, and then after, square that, And then since eto, double exponent lang, so we can simplify this by multiplying it. B and then 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, next we have to simplify this again. So 5 plus negative 2. So since the sign are not the same, we're not going to add, but instead we are going to subtract. So this will become B 5 minus 2, that will become 3. And then write 2 here. And then B to the 6. Okay, now that we have double exponent, we are now ready to multiply the exponent. So 3 times 2, that will be 6. So B raised to the 6th power and another B raised to the 6th power. Here we are going to apply the first rule again of the product rule. So we're going to copy again the bases kasi pareho yung base dito. So kokopyahin yung base. Tapos 6 plus 6. 6 plus 6. So the final answer will be B raised to the 12th power. Okay, so that's how we do the first power rule or the double exponent rule. Okay, next is the second power rule. When we say second power rule, this is when an expression has x and y raised to the nth power. Okay, so when x times y raised to the nth power is equal to x raised to the nth power, y raised to the nth power. So what do we do here? We are going to distribute the exponent to x and y. That's why we have x raised to the nth power and y raised to the nth power. That's for the product. Okay? Also, this is also the same as for the division. Okay? So if you do that, we have x over y raised to the n power. We also need to distribute the n to x and to y. That's why we get x raised to the n power over y raised to the n power because we distribute it. It's not only for x but also for y. Okay, and you also need to take note that y here should not be equal to 0 because if y is equal to 0, it will give you an undefined answer. Okay, so yun ang gagawin. Para doon sa second power rule, if we have two not the same bases here with an exponent outside, all you need to do is kailangan mong i-distribute yung exponent not only to one but to all the ones inside that parenthesis. Okay? If you are multiplying or even if you are dividing, you have to distribute. I-distribute mo yung exponent doon sa taas, sa numerator at the same time sa denominator. Okay? So that's the rule there. So in order for you to understand the third rule, let's take a look at this example. So for this one, AB raised to the 6th power. So as the rule says, you need to distribute. So we are going to distribute 6 here to A and 6 to B. So ang mangyayari, magkakaroon tayo ng A raised to the 6th power, B raised to the 6th power. So that will be the answer. Okay, so yan na yung magiging sagot. Next, for this one naman, C raised to the 3rd power, D raised to the 2nd power, close and open parenthesis, raised to the 3rd power. So, ang gagawin natin dito, it's a combination of the second and the third rule. Okay, meron tayong double exponent at the same time, meron tayong exponential form dito na hindi pareho. So, again, ang gagawin natin, we have to distribute this 3 to C raised to the 3rd power and then this 3 here to D raised to the 2nd power. Okay? So, ang unang-unang gagawin is C raised to the 3rd power, kopya lang yan, and then after, distribute mo yung 3. Write mo yung 3 doon. And then, D raised to the 2nd power, and then after, write the 3 also because we are distributing this 3 here to C3 and D to the second power. And then after that, pagkatapos na nyan, we are going to simplify it further using the second rule. And that is the double exponent. So, double exponent means you need to multiply. Kailangan mong i-multiply yung exponent na dalawa. So, this one, C, 3 times 3 will be 9. And then D here, 2 times 3 is 6. So, the final answer here will be C raised to the 9th power and D raised to the 6th power. Okay? Next is this one. So, for this one, we have variables at the same time coefficient. And then again, the rule is we need to distribute the outside exponent to the ones inside the parenthesis. So, i-distribute natin yan. Meaning, i-distribute natin yung 3 sa 2, yung 3 sa x squared, at yung 3 sa y raised to the 4th power. So, ang mangyayari, iisa-isahin natin yan. That will be negative 2 raised to the 3rd power, and then x squared, again, raised to the 3rd power, then yun, and then y to the 4th power, again, raised to the 3rd power. Next, after mong gagawin yan, we will be doing the double exponent rule or the second rule. Okay? So, that will be double exponent. So, eto, that will be negative 2, negative 2, negative 2 lang dito. Okay? Because it is negative 2 raised to the 3rd power. So, that will be negative times negative is positive times another negative. So, that will be, the final answer will be negative. So, 2 times 2 times 2, that will be 8. Okay? So, negative 8 and then x. What do we do with the exponent if it's double? Multiply natin. Dahil double exponent, 2 times 3, that will be 6. And then y, 4 times 3, that will be 12. So the final answer here will be negative 8x raised to the 6th power, y raised to the 12th power. Okay? And the last is, what if we have a division property? Okay? What if we have this kind of expression? So, ang gagawin natin, again, just like the rule says, even if it's division, all you need to do is distribute still the exponent to the numerator and to the denominator. So, i-multiply pa rin natin yan, i-distribute pa rin natin yan. So, first, i-multiply natin yung 2 dito sa 2, and then this 2 to this a raised to the 3rd power, and then after, multiply this 2 also to 4, and to the b raised to the 4th power. So doing that, we'll get 2 raised to the 2nd power, and then a raised to the 3rd power, close and open parenthesis, raised to the 2nd power, over, ito, 4 raised to the 2nd power, and then b raised to the 4th power squared. Okay, so simplifying this further, 2 raised to the 2nd power, that will be 4. Okay, and then a, double exponent tayo, so we have to multiply 3 times 2, that will be 6, over 4 squared is 4 times 4, that will be 16, and then after, b, 2 times 4, that will be 8. Okay, so this is the answer. But then, as you can see, 4 and 16 here, you can still simplify. Okay, so since you can still simplify 4 and 16 here, we can cancel out 4 and 16 by 4. So this becomes 1 and this will become 4. So the final answer here will be a to the 6th power over 4b raised to the 8th power. So this is the final answer. Okay, so that's how we simplify, or this is how you do the rules in exponent with the product, the first power rule, and the second rule. Okay, so I hope you learned something today. Again, this is Teacher Luis, your mommy tutor. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and always click the notification bell so that you'll be updated sa mga susunod ko pang videos. Bye!